Okay, we are back and yeah, so in this video I will like to talk about Bun, and one of the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because this is something that is going on as a hot topic. And yeah, so in this video we will be learning about Bun live, and thing is I have created this entire documentation. It's basically coming from the doc. It's nothing new. It's if you go through the entire documentation, you will find bunch of these things scattered around the entire documentation. I had just compiled it, and therefore I will be going through this notepad itself. Now, if you want something like a dark mode, maybe we can just do that, but that's bad for eye eyes, so I have created that. But let's go with the dark mode for now. Okay, so let's start with what is Bun, right? Well, first of all, it's a JavaScript runtime to serve the modern JS ecosystem. This is what they say in their documentation. Now, it's also a native bundler, task runner, and npm client. So basically what they say in the documentation. If you don't know where the documentation is, you can actually go to bunjs and you'll find this is a documentation. Then you can go to this docs and you can just start going through it. Now, of course, I won't be going through this entire thing, but you can actually go through it, right? We'll be touching the surface. And as you can see, this is their roadmap, this is their benchmarking and all of that. You can also run pretty much everything here. There's a festival going on. That's why if you're hearing the crackers, that's what it is all about. Anyways, back to the business. And why I have this JSON placeholder? Well, there's a thing at the very bottom that I would like to do. That's why it is there. Anyways, I also have some sort of like a pain in my body. Anyways, so it's also a drop-in replacement for Node.js and is fully compatible with Node APIs. We'll look into it as well. It's written in SIG programming language built on JavaScript core engine, which is different from V8 engine, like on which the Node.js is built on. Okay. Coming to the design goals. Speed, elegant APIs, and cohesive DX are their three main core design goals. Where they have said it? Well, again, we will open this. We'll go here. And by the way, see, I just copy pasted this. And this is their design goals. Cool. Nothing else, nothing out of the extraordinary, nothing something that I am coming up with my own mind. It's just basic documentation and extracting certain information from there. And these are all the features like speed, performance, node replacement. JSX works out of the box, and so does the TSX. It works with the node modules, native API clients, web standard APIs like fetch API. There's no restriction in terms of what the module you have, right? I mean, module process you use, either common JS like require or ESM like import, export. And then you have TypeScript support, watch mode, integrated bundler, environment variable support. You don't need that .env thing. And it has some built-in SQLi database, which we'll not be talking about much. What is the installation process? Well, if you are on Windows, use WSL, which is exactly what I will be using. As you can see right here, this is WSL. Cool. Now I will go inside the live streaming and we'll create something called Bun tutorial, and then go inside the Bun tutorial and then simply open this. Cool. Again, have to change this. Pretty sure about it, but let's change it. And here we are. What about what next? Well, on Linux you use Linux, duh. On macOS use Unix. Just open your terminal, it will work. And then run either the curl command or the install using npm, docker, homebrew, whatever. The installation is right here. You simply run this. Cool. And that should be it. This you will have this 1.0.2. Now what I'll do is, because I have it already, I'll just simply upgrade it, and I'm already on the latest version. Cool. Then yeah, while you do that, let me just simply go ahead with this. The first thing that we will do is initialize our bun, and the initialization process is similar like npm init. You do bun init, and package name, yes, make it this, and that should do it. Cool. Now let's see. Yeah, update. Everything that is everything that is related to update and it belongs to Microsoft happens at the very bad timing every time. Okay, here we are. This is our project initialization. As you can see, this is not like npm init, because that just creates package.json. Here it creates a bunch of things, node modules as well, package.json, where you have this dev dependencies, and then you also have peer dependency, which is TypeScript. And then whatever this is, we don't care about that. Maybe I should just simply copy paste this entire thing and put it right here, and we'll see what we can do later. Anyways, then you have this src where we have something called console log hello via bun. Notice that this is ts file, which is TypeScript file. Okay, that's the main thing that you need to notice, not the JS file, TypeScript file. So let's run this. See, extension here is going to be required. So here what we are going to do is we are going to say this and this, and it works out of the box. TS works. Let me repeat it. Out of the box, TypeScript works. No need for any sort of like a how to put it. You don't need TSC node. You don't need a bunch of other things that you actually had to do when you were doing things with npm, yarn, or pnpm. Okay, everything just works out of the box. Let's look into this ts configuration file. This is also just set up for you for us right out of the box. Cool, great. Now let's remove this and see what is next. Yeah, here we are. I think I should do this like this and make it like this, just in case. Okay, let's start running our server. We have to simply create our own server. It is going to be a very small server, but here we are. Okay, let's go with the const server. We will do bun and we will do serve. Notice there's no requirement for importing bun. It's just works out of the box. Then we will say port, and we will say 5000, and then we will say fetch, where we will pass the request object, and here we will do this, and let's see what it was. Yeah, fetch request, and then we will return a response here, which is to say return new response, and we will see, or we will say, I have noted it down here, right? Bun is for eating, not for creating a server. Cool. Okay, let's close this. This is a server. So this will automatically start our server. Now I will just simply say info server is running on port server dot, I think port is there. Yeah, port. Let's simply now run it. Same thing. Now the server is running. How should we know? Well, we can just use a curl command for xget, and that should do it. See, bun is for eating and not for creating a server, not creating a server. So we hit this, we got this. Okay, and we can also check this from here as well. Nothing is like new. We can just simply say 5000, and here we are. Bun is for eating, not creating a server. So this is our very first bun server. Where have I found it? Again, simple. Go to the docs. That's the only place that you find any new information regarding any new technology. It's not like, this is how basically everyone who teaches you learns. I'm just also showing you the process, right? Okay, so the key takeaway here is no bun import is required. Okay, and this just simply works. Cool. Now there's a something called watch mode. What is watch mode? Okay, let's go back here. Rather than running this, let's also run something called, let's say, bun dash dash watch. Okay, one dash dash watch. It is now running in the same thing. If you go here, refresh it, things are fine. Now if you go back and say bun is for eating, not for creating a server, and save this, go back here and refresh. Remember, we are not doing anything here, right? See, it automatically refreshed. That is the watch mode. So if I refresh, this is a new thing. I don't have to go back to my terminal and do all sort of like stop, then run it again. I don't have to do that. I can just simply put it on watch mode, and that's what it will do out of the box. Cool. What is next? Well, there's something called hot reload, and the only thing that we have to do is basically do dash dash hot. Okay, let's see how it will work. Now if I go back, refresh, it works. But if I say like this and save it, nothing happens. Nothing happens, right? So what is this hot reload doing anyways? Well, the thing here is it only works for some sort of like a state management. So basically on the front end, it will work on the front end, not on the back end. That's what I got from this entire thing, but maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I got. Okay. Then we have something called environment support out of the box. So there's no need for .env package. We can just do this entire thing. So let's do that. Let's copy this port at 5500. Okay. We have to remove this. I will just put it on watch. Okay. Go here. Let's create this file called .env. Put this port right here. And then inside this index, rather than supplying it like this, let's say process.env.port. Cool. Now the server started one more time. It loaded this env file automatically. The port also changed. So if I go here and refresh, you will find that it will fail because we are on 500. So this now works 5500. Right? So this works out of the box. There's no requirement for .env package at all. .env.config we used to do. We don't have to. We can also use something called bun.env.port and save it. You'll find it ran again. It loaded again and it ran again, and it is working out of the box. Cool. Okay. What next? Well, the next thing is, let's create something called the routes, right? How should we create the route? It's a very simple thing that I will do here rather than this request thing. Let's say the first thing is that if nothing is found, right? No route is found, I will say 404 error. Okay. So let's go here and refresh. We'll get this is the error. Cool. But what if the route is say slash or slash about? Okay, so let's do that. We have to copy this. Like, okay, let me just do it like so. So if the URL is new URL and we are going to get from request.url, right? And if the URL is basically path name, not password, path name equals this, okay? Then we are saying return new response and say homepage. Okay. And if say the URL dot path name equals say about, right? Return new response, say about us. Works? Okay. Now if we are here, this time it should not be this, it should be homepage. And if we are on about, it should be about us. And if we are on anything else, it should be this. So this is how you can do a very basic, very simple routing. Cool. Okay, so this is how you create a route. Of course, as you go deep into this entire documentation, you will find that there's a very good way of doing all these things, right? So you can go here in this documentation and you can pretty much, I'm pretty sure you can find something called routes. And this is it. Next.js style, you can do a bunch of other things like file system router like Next.js does, and other ways as well. We did very simple, straightforward, just if else statement, just to show that yes, it is possible. And you don't have to like do routes and all of those things. You can do that if you want, like it is shown here. There is a router using this file system router, and here we are. Okay, all right, so what next? Well, the next thing will be we can have something called npx. So okay, for example, we have something called npx, right? Npx create next app at the rate latest. We have that, right? Well, similarly, we have something called bunx create react app at the latest. Let's put it that way. And if I do this, see, it starts working like the npx would work. So let's say next bun, yes, 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 and yes, yes. So it's now resolving everything. Our Next.js package, basically it's installing Next.js, right? Let's see how long it takes. Well, here we are. It is done. It is done in just 28 seconds, which is way too fast, right? Way too fast. Okay. If I go inside next bun and I say bun, let's see. It has bun.logb file, which is good, which means it is not installing it using the npm. It is installing it using bun, which means if I say bun run def and simply go here and say localhost this, here we are. It just works. Maybe yeah, this is our entire site, right? It just works. Cool, great. Now let me just make sure this is back to business and do this again where it is here. Okay, here we are. Cool. So bunx is basically like npx, right? Okay, next is using the core node modules. Okay, I will do it right here only. So basically if I just remove this entire thing, let's utilize the core node modules. And there was a point in the beginning which said no module restrictions. So let's show you it, right? Let's see whether it is good or not. So basically what I will do is I will first say import OS from node OS. Now this is core node modules which we are going to use inside the bun, and I will also say path equals require. This is also going to be path. Now notice this is common JS module resolution, and this not this. This is ESM module resolution. Cool. Let's see. The first thing that I will do is, I mean, if you look here, basically they are not giving any error. They are working out of the box, both of them in the same file, which is not possible if you have used npm, bnpm, yarn, or any other things, right? Okay, I should be just stopping that as well and come out and be here. where we are. So we are looking into this available parallelism and this extension name for this. So available parallelism, parallelism, here we are. Okay, and then we will also have extension name. This will be path dot extension name, and we have to supply this. So it should give HTML, and then I will say available parallelism and parallelism, and then here we are with this extension name. Let's simply do this. Go back, run src index, and here we are. So yes, I do have 16, I think 16 parallel something. I mean, I'm using Ryzen 7 4800H, so something like that, and it is working. See, no error was given, even though we used this two different module resolution way. No error came up. We are also using TypeScript. It is working out of the box, and we are using the node modules, native modules, and it is working off the box. Okay. Oh, by the way, just to show you, my node version is actually the latest 20.6.1. Okay, just clarifying here. Cool. So what is next? We can use node core modules as well. That is the thing. Now let's see, there's a thing in this documentation. If you go, they have something called their own file system. Pretty sure they had this here. File system, where is it? Okay, file system. You know what? Let's go back. I think I just picked it up from here, but it is very small thing. Come on, where's the file system? Okay, so they have a bunch of things. I think, I mean, we are not going to use this. They have their own like file system. So let's just go ahead. I'm pretty sure that, I mean, I've got this from somewhere, either in their homepage or somewhere in one of their example, maybe on Twitter or something. So let's see. So rather than using the Node.fs, right? Rather than using this Node.fs, we are going to use their own system. Okay. Since we are using the Bun ecosystem, we don't have to do any sort of import here, right? So let's start with the data. And I will open this so that you guys can actually see things here, right? Within this. So in this data, I will simply say Bun is for eating, not for creating a server. Okay. Then I will say await bun dot file and not bun dot, I think it's right, and then I will say the name, which is say bun eat dot txt, and then I will say data, and I will save it. Now nothing actually works, so what I will do is I'll just remove this for now. What I will do is watch this, right? Put it here, save, and here we go. Right here it is created. Okay, cool. What next? Well, let's read this data. So bun eat data, and we will say await bun dot file, and we will supply bun eat dot txt, and then we will say console dot log. Let's see what it actually is. It is a file reference, obviously, and this is the character set, which is UTF-8 by default. Okay, then if I say dot, well, first of all, we can do like text. Yeah, it is text. Okay, it is a promise, so we have to await it. Okay, await this, and this should show what we had, right? Then there's also something called size. let's go and look into that. Console.log bun each data.size. I think it's just size. Yeah, 44 bytes. I'm pretty sure about that. 1 2 3 4. Let's see. We can go to this. We can go here. We can just open this and we can say this and we can say length. Here we are. Oh shit. Length. Okay, 44. So it is just counting this. Okay, then there was another thing in apart from size. We have something called stream and then also array buffer. Let's see both of them. Bun eat stream and array buffer, both has to be await. Pretty sure it's both of them are function, right? So this is for readable stream. Anybody who knows what is streaming is, they know what this is. It is basically the web standard streaming, something like that. It's standardized way of streaming things, not either from the node.js end or from that. So it's not like they are building something new, right? APIs are the same, the implementation is better. The API implementation is better under the hood, and this is the array buffer, and that's about it. Cool. Okay, then let's do some sort of like a testing. Okay, how should we test? Well, first of all, there's nothing to test here. I'll just simply create something called index.test.ts. Now the testing thing is again going to be working out of the box in Bun. So you do not need jest. You do not need things equivalent to jest, right? It is just going to work out of the box. So let's start with just describe. And I will say, Bun test, and this should be, wait a minute, I think I forgot. Yeah, this should be a function, and yes, so basically we will test and we will say let's call it multiply itself, right? And here again we will do this thing, and here I will say expect another one, and then I will say 4 into 4, by the way, this to be 16. By the way, this is coming from node test and this is coming from bun test. And do we have expect? No. Let's see what actually happens, whether it works or not. But basically everything can be actually coming from bun test. I'll just do this. Okay, so let's close this. Let's run bun test, and it says it is like bad, right? So node test is not allowed. Fair enough. What we don't want is describe, and we will do the test. Now if we go and do this again, it passes, right? Multiply passes. Cool. So this is like out of the box testing is possible, and it is being done. Next, let's use it as a bundler, because remember Bun is also a bundler. So we already have the src folder. Let's write a bunch of code here, and then we will do this thing. So we already have a bunch of code anyways, right? And it says some sort of like a profit. Let's see what it is. We already have this bunch of code. Cool. We will go here. We will just simply paste this, and I'll just show you what this is. So it says bun build this file, and the output file should be inside the dist with a bundle.js, and we should simply watch it. So bundle.js is here, and it is now watching it. Okay, here we are. Now basically if I delete this, I go back here, I do this again, it should create this is a bundle file. It is being transpiled and everything, like see, it is var again, and here we are. Now if I simply run this file inside the dist folder bundle, see, everything works out of the box one more time, and we again have this. Cool. So bundle, I mean the bundler part of the bun is also there. From tsx it became this. Okay, what is next? Well, let's do this. Install the JSX and do all sort of things. Okay. What I will do is I will remove this bundle.js first from dist. Inside the dist, I will create something called index.html. Okay. I will do this react bun, and then here I will say simply do this. Okay. And here inside this script, I will say src, and this should be bundle.js. Okay. And then let's also, can I go live? I don't have that, or what? Live server. Okay, let me just install it. Okay, this is installed. Am I still like running or not? Yeah, it is still being run, thankfully. Okay, so this is installed, and here a bundle.js will be created. So if I go live, okay, open in browser. Like this. Test. Okay, here we are, and this is our root. Cool. Now inside this, I can just let it be. I can just come here, and here let's start installing certain things. So bun can be used to install things. So bun install react and react dom. The fastness, the quickness, can you see? It's very fast, by the way. So both of them are actually installed. Now we can actually utilize it. So we will have to create this. So I will just do this whole thing and paste it right here. Could not find declaration module and all of that, blah blah blah. Doesn't make sense, but yeah, anyways. So basically this is react. We are importing the react, then we are importing this react dom, then I mean create root, then we are creating a root, and then we are doing this, right? And this root is actually being coming from this, right? Okay, and then this is the app, and then this root dot render, pretty sure it was render. Let me go to this create, like Vue.js react, get started. Let's open this. So here we have, see, we are also not going to do any sort of like a module thing, but if we go to this index, not here, src inside this main JSX, so react dom from client, we're doing the react like root, create root, yes, Okay, we have to come from client, and yeah, now it is like better. Then we are saying root, create root with the root thing, and then we are going to say render and simply do this. Okay, we are going to say this root dot render, and that should do it. Okay, now there are a bunch of like could not find the declaration for module find react implicit has any type if the react package actually. Okay, because we are using TypeScript, so let's also do something called react. I'm pretty sure they have this inside this view. If I go to this package JSON, both of them are here, but we also need these, so let's simply do that, this with react dom, and here we are, both of them are here. So if I go back here, okay, now this went away. Now it says cannot find. Do you need to change your target library? Try changing lib compiler to include dom. Yes, let's do that. Here we will say lib as dom as well, and yeah, we have included that, and this is our JSX. What is this? Do you need to change the target library? Try changing the lib compiler option to include dom. Yes, I am doing that. Pretty sure it will work. I don't see the problem anyways. And this is a set count, right? And this is a count plus plus. We are saying +1, and this is it. Okay, then let's simply, like, we have this. Let's run this. Not, there's no need for this. We can just say, oh, one more thing. I have to change this to TSX. Yeah, now it should work. Yeah, it will not be this, don't worry. This is fine. Anyways, it will work. This is also fine. Sign count because it is a constant. I mean, there's no need for this, but this is a false error, but okay, no problem. This should work now. This is also like cannot be used as X component, blah blah blah. Let's see, maybe I can just remove this for now and do this. Let's see what happens. Okay, and this should be TSX. It bundled, cool. And if we go back here, now this is our dist folder because the live server was running, so it is running. Something is wrong in terms of my React code. Maybe this is the wrong thing. So let's do this, and rather than doing this, let's say p +1. Okay, when I click on this, do this. So increase this and then do this. Fair enough. Now it is working fine, and this is our React application out of the box. So basically we can use JSX out of the box in Bun. And if you look here, for the sake of comparison, oh shit, for the sake of comparison, see the amount of dependencies that we have here. Apart from these, we have these, right? And if you're using something like create React app, then it is even worse. And these are the dependencies. But if we go and see, hopefully it's not that much. This is a dependency. Right? Of course, what we have to do here is basically bun install this, and rather than doing it dependency, we can just move it to dev dependency. Right here, we can do that. Right, this. So this is our dev dependencies. This is our dependencies, and this is it. So if you look here, this is way less, right, in terms of React. And of course, this is not like everything, but as you can see, it can be actually done. You have to somehow find the TypeScript to actually make it work and all of that, but Bun can actually utilize that. Cool. So JSX is done. And then there's something like I wanted to do like testing Bun performance against Express, but you know what? It is like about to be 11 and I haven't thought through at least like till what and how to actually test this thing out, because I'm not really a tested kind of person. I don't care about much there. In terms of performance, I already showed in the last video of Bun itself that the performance that I care about, which is this installation, which is these other things that they claim like server and all of those improvements, server request improvement, WebSocket improvement, those are there, right? So yeah, I will, if this is how fast they are in terms of like one of their claims, I am obliged to believe in their other claims. And when I will use it, if it is not the case, I will look into it. Otherwise, nothing is like this is just an evolving thing. It is just production ready as per them. 1.0.2 came up, but eventually as their version increase in terms of measure like 2, 3, 4, I'm quite excited where this entire thing will go, because holy moly, it's way too like quick. And hopefully the Versal team actually adopts it quickly, like full support quickly. And yeah, that's about it. And I also hope that they actually introduce this Bun inside their nextjs, like create next app, introduce the Bun. So like internal working, not just installation thing, like internally use some sort of like a Bun thing if it improves some sort of like a performance. If it does not, no problem. If it does, then here we are. Okay, and that was it. That was the entire video. I hope you guys like it. If you want such videos more, right, because I will be continuing my nextjs learning journey as well, the app router one. If you want certain things like this more, let me know. And basically just subscribe, like, comment, tell me what you like, tell me how I can improve it. I don't like editing. This is better for me. I can speak, and this actually helps me improve my speaking skill as well. So it's going to be a win-win situation the way I see it. There is a thing that I'm actually recording, like the course for the beginners for the software engineering, but here we are, right? Cool. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video, maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow. Bye.